Now, aloha everybody. Welcome to today's Haleo Maliola event. Today we will be doing a health corner talk brought to you by the American Heart Association. They are doing a whole lot to help keep all of these virtual activities rolling and to help be sure that all of you know the best ways to stay healthy. Next slide, please. Next slide. Sorry, everybody. This presentation is called Feed Your Potential. It is the first part. We'll do part 2 of this next week. And so this is going to be mostly about food and what you should be eating to be your healthiest self and what you should be kind of avoiding if at all possible, or the foods that you should be eating in moderation, right? Because we try to eat the less healthy foods in moderation so that we can stay healthy. Next slide, please. All right, so first thing we're gonna do is watch this quick little video that the American Heart Association put together for us. And I want you all to pay as close attention as possible, but it's okay if you miss something because we're gonna go over it. And we'll have to share sound. One second, everybody. Share sound. Restart and share. One second, everybody. I'm going to jump over and help out on the tech side real fast. Please bear with me. I'll be right back. I am back. We're going to try this one more time. Can all of you hear anything? Thumbs up if so. If not, we'll jump on to the next part. Nope. No one hears it? Okay. That is all right. We'll go ahead and jump to the next slide. Thank you, Seth. I appreciate that. Okay. So even though you didn't see the video, I will happily go over the material because I know that stuff super well. There was a lot that they talked about on it, but what they talked mostly about were different types of foods. And I'm going to try to run y'all through this even without seeing the video. And I promise a lot of you are going to get it right. So if we jump over to the next slide, the American Heart Association in that video suggested a lot of foods that are super duper healthy. So now using the chat box, can I get all of you to suggest a food group or a food type that you think is super healthy? And then we'll name some. So if you have any ideas or any suggestions, go ahead and put it into the chat box for me. Seth is saying any protein. Okay. Okay. Kyle's saying fruit. Ryan, veggie pizza. Ooh, we'll have to talk about that one. Kailani is saying a banana. Gabriel saying organic foods. Fantastic. Good suggestions, everybody. Is there anyone from Kalima that has a suggestion? Oh, there we go. All vegetables and fruit. Good job, everybody over there. Great job, Maui. Blueberries from Kiana. Nikki Wayne saying yogurt. Good jobs, everyone. Good job. Now, if we go to the next slide, I actually wrote down the exact answers that the video said. And they suggested, just like so many of you, fruits, vegetables, whole grains. That was one that we kind of missed, wasn't it? Yeah, it's important to think about your whole grains. So that means like whole wheat bread, that means oatmeal, that kind of thing. Beans. Does anyone know another word for beans that they can put into the chat box real fast? Ooh, lots of question marks. Legumes is another word for beans. And that means black beans. That means pinto beans. That means chickpeas. Lots of stuff. And did you know that hummus actually counts as one of those beans? Now, I saw someone put in protein. Ooh, Seth said peas. Yes, peas are beans. I saw someone put in protein into the chat box earlier. And this actually lays out a couple of different sources of protein. So fish, super good for you. And then we also have skinless poultry, so skinless chicken. And does anyone know why it says skinless instead of having the skin on? Either. Does anybody know why it says skinless instead of skin on? No one's popping through an answer. Well, real quick, the answer is actually because skin on meat has a lot of fat. It's actually made out of fat. So the same stuff that fat in animals is made out of is what the skin is made out of. And yes, Seth, I mean on chicken specifically. Yep, pork too, but we don't usually eat pork skin. It also suggested that we eat our nuts, right? So those are almonds, those are peanuts, those are all of those kind of little nuts that we snack on, cashews, everything. Does anyone know a type of nut that maybe I didn't list? Nope. Ooh, walnut. That's a good one. And then the last suggestion it gave was fat-free or low-fat dairy products. That's right. So we try to avoid the high-fat dairy products or the whole milk or regular cheese, just because they tend to have a lot of calories in them. And we'll get to that soon. But for now, we'll jump on to the next slide. Yes, Ryan, low-fat milk, very good. Yes, Brittany, macadamia nuts, super good. The video also talked about a few things that the American Heart Association suggested we avoid. So these are going to be the foods that we have to try to eat in moderation and not eat a whole lot of, right? So if we go to the next, well, before we go to the next slide, okay, that works. Can any of you take a guess as to what some of these foods that we should try to avoid are? So what are the foods that we should be careful about eating? The ones we should eat in moderation. Ooh, Brittany, good answer. Red meat. Ryan, I like that you're saying junk food, but can you be a little bit more specific with that? Come on, what other suggestions do we have? Good job, Gilbert. Kyle saying a pork chop. Maybe, but pork isn't actually red meat. Ooh. Oh, someone saying sugar over there on Maui. That's a very, very good suggestion. We'll probably be going over that one. Ryan is saying McDonald's. Yeah, probably we should be eating McDonald's in moderation. Same with pizza. Same with oily foods and burgers. I'm loving all of these suggestions. Awesome. Ooh, Gilbert saying avoid chocolate chip cookies, potato chips, and cheeseburgers. Someone on Maui also saying salty foods. Well, we're not taking points, but can anyone think of the other word for salty or salt when it's in foods? Ooh, yep. Gabriel, spam definitely is something we should eat in moderation. And Brittany, that is right. The other word for salt is sodium. Good job. So you should avoid foods that are high in sodium, which are, like a lot of you have said, chips. And Seth is saying that maybe we should avoid lots of carbs. That's probably a good idea. We should avoid lots of almost anything, right? Because we should eat in moderation. And I like that Maui's throwing up soda pop as well, because soda pop is not only high in sugar, it can also have a lot of sodium. So now, if we go over to the next slide, the video actually pointed out some very, very specific things. And I am so glad that all of you came together and you pretty much suggested all this stuff. The first one was sodium, so salt. So you want to avoid any food that's super duper high in salt, like your chips, like your fast food burgers. You can have them every once in a while, but you don't want to have them all the time. Second suggestion they gave, saturated fats. Saturated fats can kind of be dangerous to your heart. They can clog your arteries and they can make it harder for your heart to do its job. And so if you have way, way, way too much and you're not moving, so that means you're not getting exercise, you're not playing any sports, you're not working out, and you're just eating lots and lots of hamburgers all the time, that means that your heart won't be as healthy as it could. And then, of course, red meat, just as someone put. So red meat's okay in moderation, but you don't want to eat it at every meal, right? You want to maybe have it every other day. You want to cut down on that if you think you're eating a lot of it. And I know red meat tastes so good. We all love it. We love our burgers. We love our steak. We love all of that stuff. But we will definitely want to moderate that food. Yes, Ryan, barbecue is usually also a red meat. And then the last thing that the video said, and I promise I will send it all to you. I'll send the link through in the chat before we finish. Added sugar. Now, can someone tell me the difference using the chat box between added sugar and natural sugar? Ooh, I'm seeing people suggesting foods that have added sugar, but what is the difference between added sugar and natural sugar? Why are they different? Why does the American Heart Association say added sugar is something to avoid and not natural sugar? Ooh, Brittany, good job. So usually when we think of added sugar, we're thinking of like candy or soda or things that that humans will take and will just pour more sugar into, like just like that, right? But when we're talking about natural sugar, we're thinking about things like fruits or things that grow or are already made by nature to be kind of sweet. So a little bonus question. Can everybody please put into the chat one food that is rich in natural sugar? So just one example, any example that you want that you can think of that is rich in natural sugar. Natural sugar. Oh, I don't know, Gilbert. Chocolate is a candy. I think that has a lot of added sugar. Good job, Brittany. Apples. Good job. Anyone else? Gilbert, good job. Bananas, awesome. I don't know, Ryan. I'm pretty sure chocolate cake just has a lot of added sugar in it. Oh, lots of suggestions coming in now from Maui. Strawberry, cherry, oranges, awesome. Great suggestions. Kyle saying mango. Ooh, Gabriel, I like oranges, but juice actually usually has a lot of added sugar in it. Gilbert, good job. Strawberries and kiwis, and from Maui as well, dates. Good job, everybody. Now, if we go into the next slide, woo, they talked about calories in the video. Well, what are those? Can anybody put into the chat box what their guess is? Anyone at all? I know it's complicated. I know it's a lot. Oh, yep. Brittany, food. Maybe it is a way to describe food. It's a quality that food has, perhaps. It's something about different types of foods. Let's go to the next slide and see what it says. How many of you have heard that food gives our bodies energy? Can you raise your hands if you have? Yeah, right. We've all kind of heard something like that, right? Well, a calorie is just the word that we use to describe how much energy food gives us. Yeah, does that kind of make sense? So if something has a lot of calories, it is going to give our bodies a lot of energy. And if something doesn't have very many calories, it doesn't have that much energy in it, right? So yes, Ryan, usually energy drinks have a lot of calories, but that's not always a good thing, right? Because if we have too many calories, what does our body do with all of that extra energy that it doesn't use? It stores it away. It stores it away, and it can turn it into fat, right? So we all have a little bit of fat on our bodies, and that's just extra energy for when we're super hungry or we haven't eaten enough. Yeah, good job, Maui. Okay, if we go to the next slide, the video talked about there being a right number of calories for everybody, but it's not the same for everybody. In fact, it's totally different for different people. Can anyone lay out or let me know using the chat box what some of the factors are, or what determines, or how our body tells us how many calories it needs? Anyone? I'm going to give you a hint on this first one. I think maybe how much we move around and how much we exercise impacts how many calories our body needs. What else might do it? Any guesses? Yes, Brittany, your body size. That's a very good one. That's a very good one, Brittany. So if you're a bigger person, yes, Kyle, your weight, exactly. If you're a bigger person, there's more of you, and your body needs a little bit more energy because it just has to keep more human being running. Ooh. All right, so if we go to the next slide, I'll actually jump over some of what the video said exactly. So there are three main things that the video said impacts your body's caloric need, or how many calories your body needs in a day. The first one And maybe most important is your age, right? So if you're super duper young and you're smaller, you're not going to need as many calories as a full grown adult. And if you're a teenager and you're running around doing and moving all the time, your body's burning a whole lot of energy, so you'll need even more calories. But as you get older, some of us slow down a little bit and we move a little bit less, and our bodies actually start needing less calories as we get older. So it's important to think as we get older that we should be careful not to overeat by just eating the same things and same amounts that we did when we were younger. Second thing the video talked about was physical activity. Does anybody want to tell me what physical activity means? I give you a hint on the slide right there. Anyone? Yeah, going out, it can. Physical activity means like physical movement. That means exercise. That means walking. Yes, Brittany, hiking, all of the activity that you do that isn't just sitting still. Good job, everybody. Swimming, Kiana, good job. I see someone said jogging over on Maui. Good job. T-ball, yes. Volleyball, good job, Gilbert. Running, good job, Gabriel. Awesome job. And then the last factor, or the last thing that the video talked about when we're thinking about calories and trying to decide how much we should eat, are your goals, your weight goals. If you're trying to lose weight, do you think you should eat more or less calories? Good job, everybody. I'm so proud of y'all. Awesome job, everybody. You should eat less, just like that, because if you eat less, you're taking in less energy. And so your body is going to have a chance to burn off some of the energy that it's stored up. And on the other end of that, if you're trying to gain weight, so if you're trying to get even bigger, you should try to eat a little bit more, right? You should eat more calories, not too much, but enough. All right, if we go to the next slide, I think we're nearing the end. As always, thank all of you for coming. I appreciate it. We had a really big turnout today. So many of you are earning points toward all of your incentives. Good job, everybody. If y'all have any health questions, Haleo Malleola questions, incentive questions, or song requests for the dance, remember, we take song requests now, right? So all you have to do is send me, Walker, an email. My email is ha@sohawaii.org. It's right there on the screen. Just send me an email with your song requests or your questions. I will get back to you as soon as I possibly can. Promise. And of course, we hope that you will join us on Wednesday for our workout with our very own Special Olympics Hawaii athlete, Nicole, who happens to be here in this meeting with us today. If you were looking at the gallery, you just saw her wave. Nicole, would you like to wave again? Oh, and I'm told that you went over the edge on Saturday. I seem to remember that being in our social media. For those of you that don't know, that means that Nicole literally climbed down a whole giant building. 40 floors. It was so cool. Awesome. Congratulations on that, Nicole. And I know that, hold on, I will replace the spotlight. Wave it for us all. Whee! Thank you so much, Nicole. We will see you on Wednesday. You will be instructing our workout, hosting our workout. It's going to be a blast. And the ID for that is 815-3406-5939. And that's Wednesday, November 10th, 3:30 p.m. Cannot wait to see all of you there. All right, now as we come off of our recording and we come off of mute for a little bit of talk story time, feel free to say hi.